Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be reading Facing the Heat. This is based on Daniel chapter 3. Thanks to Daniel's miraculously interpretation of the king's dream, Nebuchadnezzar promotes him and his three friends to high positions in the government. And this is like this is a foreign land. This is where they're meant to be slaves at. This is, God always takes care of you. Even when he closes one door, he opens another, and he has for these men because they've stayed faithful to the Lord. Years pass by, and the four Hebrew men rule wisely and well, but the news does not make the king's other advisors very happy. Why should foreigners get power and honor instead of us? We have to get rid of Daniel. Not now. He's too powerful, but if we can turn the king against Daniel's friends, we might be able to cause trouble for Daniel. Their opportunity comes when Nebuchadnezzar conquers Jerusalem. The king decides he's greater than all gods and builds a statue of himself. All of the officials must worship it or be thrown into a fiery furnace. The king is playing right into our hands. He doesn't know that Hebrews will only worship their God. Daniel holds too high a position for any one of us to report him, but not his friends. So they can't report Daniel because his position is too high, but they're going to trick the king into getting rid of Daniel's, good friends. Right? And tomorrow when the trumpet sounds for all the people to bow before the statue, we'll keep our eyes on Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. At King Nebuchadnezzar's command, a giant statue 90 feet high has been built on the plains of Dura. All of the officials of Babylon are ordered to worship it. The hour of worship comes the moment the king's jealous advisors have been waiting for. Musicians have taken their places. The signal will come soon, the one that means death to Daniel's friends. Music fills the air. The officials of Babylon bow down and worship the golden statue, all but Daniel's three friends. See, they refuse to bow down. They refuse to bow down to anybody but God. Eagerly, the jealous advisors report to the king. O king, 3 of your Hebrew officials have defied you. They refuse to worship your statue. He says, what? Bring them to me at once. Worship the statue or I'll throw you into the fiery furnace. Tell me, what God can save you from that? The God we serve can save us from anything. They continue to hold their faith, including fire. But even if he doesn't, he will never worship an idol. We will never worship an idol. These men, like in the book of Daniel, hold some of the greatest faith and honestly give up anything. They give up clean food or bread or drinks, everything for the Lord. And they gave up comfort for the Lord. And they would even die for him, fiercely. They would rather die than deny God. And they hold, we all fall victim of being embarrassed or maybe scared or maybe shy about it, but these men were not. They would rather die than to deny their faith or to be ashamed of it, and we should be the same. Heat the furnace 7 times hotter than ever before, and I'll throw them into it. So certainly their death must be certain, 7 times hotter than ever before, right? So this is very hot fire. The 3 Hebrews are quickly bound and thrown into the raging fire. But when the king looks into the furnace, he says they're alive. He could see them standing there. The flames haven't even touched them. Didn't we throw 3 men into the fire? We did, O king. But I see 4, and the 4th looks like someone from heaven. Shadrach, and he calls him out. He says, come out. King Nebuchadnezzar is struck with an awe and wonder. Blessed to be the God of them, blessed be the God of them, and who sent his angel to save them. From now on, anyone who dares to say a word against their God will die. We should probably not make any more attacks on Hebrew. He saw the power of God. He saw the angel that came and that protected them and that brought them out of a fire that should have been certain death. And that put the fear in him. That's the biggest thing we need is to be afraid. You have no fear of anybody on this earth but God and what he can do. And that there shows you, and his, powerful angel that he sent, to protect them and, to make their death not certain. And they walked out of a fire that should have burnt them, to ashes. And instead they walked out and he saw it, and it did put the fear in him. He said, no more, no more mocking them, no more making fun of them, no more provoking their God, nothing like that. Or you'll be put to death. Definitely a great book. I love the book of Daniel. But as always, take it easy, guys. I'll catch you guys next week.